What's up, guys? We're doing question number 6, and let's get right into it. All right, so a pretty simple pure math problem here. We have n is a positive integer. Quantity A is the remainder when n is divided by 5, and quantity B is the remainder when n plus 10 is divided by 5, okay? All right, guys, so I want to show you 2 ways to solve this. All right, and the first way is probably my favorite way because it has to work in every single case, and I'd say the pure math way of going about doing this. Okay, so I'll show you that one first, and then I'll show you kind of a simpler way to do it, okay? All right, so quantity A here is the remainder when n is divided by 5. Okay, so I'm going to have n divided by 5, right? And what I'm going to say is that n divided by 5, well, that's going to equal some value. I'm going to call it A plus R. Okay? All right. Now, and again, R is the remainder. Okay, so this is the remainder. Okay. Now what I'm going to have is I'm going to have n plus 10 over 5. Okay? All right, guys, now, if you watch my video on addition, you'll know that this can be broken up into n over 5 plus 10 divided by 5, right? And you'll know that this is equal to n over 5 plus 2, all right? So here's the thing. We don't know what n divided by 5 is, right? Because we don't know what n is, but we do know previously that n divided by 5 has to equal a plus r, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to say this is just a plus r plus 2, all right? So here's the thing, guys. 10 divided by 2 has no remainder, right? So we don't even have to worry about 2 right now, all right? Because we can just group it in with a, right? So what I'm going to have is a plus r equals a plus r, right? And we don't even care about the a, right? All we care about is the remainder. So therefore, we know that r equals r, and these two values have to be equal, right? Okay, so there's that way, all right? And again, we're going to get that the answer is C, okay? All right, so if that made sense, great. If not, I'm just going to show you how we could do this using real numbers, all right? I'll call this the plug and chug method, all right? So let's go ahead and try that one, all right? And comment below which method you prefer, all right, guys? And if the first one's too complicated, let me know. I'm curious to see what you guys think, all right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to say set n equal to a positive integer, all right, guys? So I'm going to choose a value that is going to have a remainder, okay? So I'm going to choose 8. All right. So I'm going to have n divided by 5, which is going to be 8 divided by 5 since n is equal to 8. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do, all right, this classic method, right? So how many times does 5 go into 8? 5 goes into 8 one time. We're going to multiply it by 5, and I'm going to get 3. So I'm going to have 1 remainder 3, okay? Or 1R, whoops, I'm sorry. 1R3. All right, and again, another way that you could write it is you could just say, you know, this is going to be 1 3/5, right? So that's another way you could write it, but we're just going to keep it simple using this notation right here, okay? All right, guys, so we got that our remainder is 3, right? Okay, so for the first one, the remainder is going to be 3. All right, so now what happens? What happens if we do n plus 10 divided by 5, right? And again, n is still equal to 8, so I'm going to have 8 plus 10 divided by 5. So now I'm going to have 18 divided by 5. All right, so we're going to go back to that classic method here. I'm going to have 18, and I'm going to divide by, oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to divide it by 5. All right, so 5 is going to go into 18 how many times? It's going to go into 18 3 times. So I'm going to get 15, then I'm going to get 3. Oh, look at that. So my answer for this one is going to be 3R3, right? Or you could just say 3 3/5, all right? But guys, we don't care about this whole number, right? We don't care about the whole number. We only care about the remainder, okay? And guess what? Remainder 3, they're both equal, so therefore the two quantities have to be equal, okay, guys? That's just one way of thinking about it, but really don't stress about it. It's really simple. You can all just plug in numbers if you don't know how to do the symbolic method, okay? So yeah, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.